On the day of the 11th November of 2011, or we can say 11/11/11, my life did change. And it changed for the greater good after the release of Skyrim. And today marks the 11th year of Skyrim release after being released on 11/11/11 years ago. And I thought it would be a great idea to get my thoughts on the game after 11 years playing the same game over and over and over again. Remember the time when you first captured in Helgen? You were going to the chopping block. Remember the first time you went there? You were like, what the fuck is going on? I remember those like it was yesterday. And believe it or not, just because of that, that's the only reason. That's why I'm a Stormcloak guy. If it wasn't for that, maybe it would have been different. I also love how Ulfric is, like, you know, his look and style compared to like Tullius. But I remember when you defeat Alduin for the first time, remember how it feels when you finally complete the game and then you have your first Daedric armor and then you get your own house, get yourself a wife or a husband. Remember the first time you did those? I remember going to Isolde for the first time in Whiterun, getting my own house there since I was broke and didn't know there were other houses. Marry Isolde and then regretted for my life trying to kill her, but I couldn't because I don't know why. But I remember those. Those were great, man. Back in the old gen when it released on PS3, Xbox 360. Remember the Augma Infinium glitch with the books, shelves, or whatever, and then repeatedly, and then get level 81.5. Remember the first time when you choose a side for the first time for the war, going either Imperial or Stormcloak, and then thinking if you kill Ulfric, you become the High King, but in the end, you're not. Or if you kill Tullius, you'd be like, damn, I could marry Elisif, and then you already know you cannot do that. I remember killing the Emperor, how crazy that is for the Dark Brotherhood mission. Get out there, kill the Emperor, $20,000. Or remember when you get the Nightingale armor from the Thieves Guild and then you complete the Thieves Guild base, whatever it was, I forgot. Remember when you become a vampire for the first time, or transforming into a werewolf, completing the companion. You go to Sovngarde and then you see for the first time Ulfric, or you see Tullius. Remember completing the College of Winterhold for the first time without even using magic, because you were like, man, I don't use magic, but let's do this, you know? And just swing your sword, bash everyone. Remember when you got your first Daedric weapon? Remember when you touched the beacon of Mara for the first time and then you hear a new hand touches a beacon? How annoying that shit is. Oh my god. If I could have a mod that would just stop saying that, God bless, that would be great. You remember when they announced the DLCs for the first time as well? When Heartfire was first announced, and then you build your own mansion, and then you had children's just running around trying to play tag, and you had like bandits coming in your house, you getting raided, and then you could transform your wife into a vampire. Or do you remember defeating Lord Harkon for the first time? Becoming a vampire lord, having skill tree perk for vampires and werewolves. Remember joining the Dawn Guard, becoming a vampire lord itself, be part of the Volkihar clan, whatever it was. Or remember defeating Mirak for the first time, and then you saw him, like, when you first see him, you saw him flying on a dragon, and you're like, what the fuck, this dude can do that? And then you learn Ben will, and then you play a fucking dragon to defeat Mirak, but it's not the way you want it to control, like to fly a dragon, but instead the dragon flies by itself and you just roam around. And that sucks, but let me tell you, it's still fucking cool to play a fucking dragon. When you can summon dragons as well with your shout. Remember killing Ice Giant for the first time? First time you destroyed the sun with the bow of Auriel's bow. When you saw Serana for the first time and you were like, damn, she's fine, and then you cannot marry her because that damn game. And then you saw that there were like more Elder Scrolls to get in the game. You had like 2 more to get, so now you get 3 Elder Scrolls. Remember the blades? Hey, when you tried to reunite the blades together, making a new faction of blades, or keeping Parthenax alive, which I'm pretty much everyone did. Skyrim is a very old game, and Todd Howard made the game way too many times. I remember the old gen Skyrim when it was first released, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, old PC days. And then they announced the DLCs. Then you had to buy the DLCs. And then later on they announced Skyrim Special Edition. And then they announced Skyrim Echo, Amazon, Google Echo, Alexa, whatever thingy. And then they announced Skyrim VR. But then last year, for the 10th anniversary year of Skyrim, they announced the Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Then the Creation Club. It is ridiculous how with this you can bring back players to play the game again and be a top 10 sold game, even though it's the same thing over and over. That's Todd Howard. Todd Howard somehow can do that, and the game is so broken as fuck no matter what it is and how it is. But you know, the game is broken. Crazy broken. There's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of glitch. And no matter how many times you play, even to this day, 11 years later, you can still find new bugs and glitches. Fucking great. They always surprise me. I never expect them. You know, when they released Skyrim in VR, I had my high hopes for that. But then the game was like very lame. You couldn't have your body, you don't see your hand, you couldn't interact with nothing. And those were all the things that I was expecting from the game. But in the end, I gave up and played the special edition instead. Until like a couple of years later, there were mods for Skyrim VR that you can see your body, that you can touch and interact, grab items and throw them. The immersion of Skyrim in VR changed everything for me. You could do like whatever you want. You can even throw the giants, like the payback from the first time you first played Skyrim, and then the giant just swings at you and you got sent flying because of the giants. I remember those like it was yesterday, man. Skyrim VR with mods is like a masterpiece. With the mods. Without mods, it's like the worst game ever that could ever happen. That you could ever play in VR. It's a worst game. Just play Skyrim fresh, raw vanilla. Straight up vanilla for the longest time. For many years. Because I found mods would ruin the gameplay of like broken weapon and armor, and then new quests that would give you broken item, more gold, way too many gold. So for me, I would not touch mods. But then I found out that mods aren't just like that all the time. It could be mods for environment look, for the appearance, the look, the NPCs, the interaction, the combat style. The mods are great. The mod community is what keeps the game living stronger and stronger every day. Just like Skyrim Together, where you can play co-op, or Beyond Bruma, which I'm pretty sure was still in progress because I don't do my research while making a YouTube video. Haha, look at me. But however, I won't really discuss much about those mods because there's plenty of videos talking about mods, like specific mods. The mods are great. I love using mods in the end. I've been using mods with Skyrim VR, like make my game more immersive. I don't mind which mod it is, like you can play whatever mod you can use, but for me I like to use mods for immersion, be more immersive in the game that I've been playing for 11 years. Be inside and see my own body, my hands touching everything, interacting, grabbing my weapons, casting magic. Skyrim is the first game I played of the Elder Scrolls series. And to be honest, I did play the other Elder Scrolls games, but the one game I keep coming back is Skyrim. From all the other Elder Scrolls games, I come back. I do love Oblivion. I do love Morrowind, but I cannot stop playing Skyrim. Skyrim is always a game I'm coming back. It's always a great experience. The game will always change. There's always new things that come and go all the time. Every playthrough I play in Skyrim, it's always a new experience. Always a new thing to do. Always a new idea. Always new build. Always play different characters. Always playing the Nord race. I wish I could go back to the first time I played Skyrim, back when I was a kid. Skyrim is like my childhood game, and I'm so surprised the game is still alive. I hope you had a fun time playing Skyrim. I hope you enjoy your experience. If you have any stories, you can tell me any stories. Or if you're new and you haven't played the game yet, are you waiting? The game is fun. Happy 11 years, Skyrim.